Thank you very much, Sean. So there we go, a bit of a summary on all the different roles. And he's right, all the roles are important because without the sergeant at arms setting up the room, then there is not going to be a professional meeting. Without the Vice President of Education not ensuring they've got a good agenda with all the speaker slots settled, you're not going to be scrambling around, are you, during the meeting? Without the Vice President of Membership signing up the members, guests, you're not going to have people there. Without the Treasurer making sure the cash is collected, you're not going to pay the rent. Without the, who's a role I've missed? The PR. There's loads of roles I've missed. Mentoring role. See, we've had the VP of mentoring, a role we haven't touched upon, but that's a specific slot we've got later today. But some clubs have appointed a particular mentor to help people get through speeches. So all the roles are important. Hopefully you've got a bit of a view on the different kind of roles, different microscopic sort of snapshot. But are there any questions or any thoughts that spring to mind on that? Well, will
there be any improvements to the D71 software?
In terms of,
can you
submit feedback?
Yeah, submit feedback. I mean, you would want to be in an opportunity to extract data so that you know who's been cancelling roles, who's been moving around, and etc. So that as the VP, then as Graham said, you could maybe talk to those people and tell them to they owe something back to the club because they cancelled a few times, and etc. And also the whole interface is a bit confusing. And I wonder if feedback can be submitted somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a guy called Malcolm. His email details are actually on the website. So you could email him and give him your feedback. Secondly, what you could do is feedback to the Vice President of Education, because they tend to use that site in terms of the scheduling speeches. So what they'll do is they'll filter it to your governors, and you can absolutely consolidate that feedback and give it straight. So yeah, without that, do that. But Malcolm's email is on the actual D71 site, so I definitely refer to feedback because he always wants that.
Sorry, is this Malcolm Chapper telemarketer or is he on the website?
So it's websites, but he also works in supports us.
Does anyone else have problems deleting people of your guests? Yeah. So we have like huge list of guests around. I just wondered if that's just us not understanding what it's like, just a generic problem.
You shouldn't be deleting members first of all. Yes, you should be starting them up. There's a role. All right. Well, have a chat with your who's your area governor? Conroy. Have a chat with Conroy.
That is by mistake or something.
I'm sure you'll be able to. But if you can't listen to it for each, you should be silent. Any other questions around the roles, really?
Yeah.
Roles, really. If you've got other questions, we've got an open forum, but really around the roles we talked about, President.
Some of the dynamics about how the roles work together.
Yes.
Like the secretary is responsible for the membership roster. The VP membership is really for bringing in the members and processing applications. And the treasurer's like in the same, so like who's responsible for the data where and that.
So that's a great question, right? And that's something which is one of the biggest things you may come across, that you think it's someone's job to be doing something. Right? And I don't really want to touch on Graham's presentation, but the fact is, you're all going to be new committee members, and there's loads of frameworks on this. There's, storming, people are arguing, what you should be doing that, you should be doing that, performing, then performing. So there's different stages, right? But the fact is, right, a role can be pretty much whatever you define it to be. And what I would encourage you, really, if you haven't had your first formal committee meeting, is get consensus on that. I'll just illustrative purposes, right? So when I had the first meeting, so when I was President of the Speakers, so I invited everyone to come, also the committee members, and what I did was, instead of, so all the individuals there, so the VPM was there, and the PR, and all ready to talk about what they were going to do, what their plans are, and this. But what I did was, I did a round table, and I said, okay, we're going to go through all the roles one at a time, and I'm going to record all the roles, and the person's role we're talking about, they're not allowed to say anything. They have to listen. And the other committee members are going to say what their expectations are of that particular role. So, for example, the treasurer is sat there, and we're going around, just 10 minutes, we're going around, and everyone, freeform, can contribute. Well, I think the treasurer's role is to chase up people to make sure they pay the fees. I think the I think the treasurer's role is to make sure they have a proper database. I think the treasurer's role is they should be submitting the accounts, they should be publishing that, because we're the members, we pay for it. Treasurer, chomping at the bit, I'm saying no.
Then you walk out.
Part of leadership is have the ability to listen. So, part of leadership, have the ability to listen. Okay? So, treasurer didn't say anything, and we moved on. And we did the same thing with the PR. So, what do we think the role of the VPR is? So, everyone did their contributions. Again, the VPR wanted to contribute. What? Sorry, no. And we did that every single role. I recorded it on audio. And then, even the president said, okay, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. I want you to tell me what your expectations are of the president. And then we had different views. So someone said that I think the president should really ring up the members when we're not having members turning up for meetings. If the president rings, and everyone loves it when the president rings, then, oh wow, the president's ringing me, I'm really sorry I don't meet to meetings. Yes, I'll turn up, I'll be at the next meeting. So the point being is, everyone heard the expectations from the other committee members of what they thought the role entailed. And then I said, okay, what we're going to do is, we're going to go away, think about it, listen to the audio, reflect back, and then I want you to define what you think the role should be. Based on the feedback of what the committee thinks, and based on what you want to do. And the next session, we're going to go around and people are going to present back what they think the role is. So they did that. So the VP would come in there, VP of Education, and say, right, I think my role is, I'm going to need to fill out all the people to make sure the schedule's there. VP of Membership said that. However, I need to get people signed up, but I am reliant on the VPPR to get guests. If I don't get that guest list, then how am I going to know who to sign up? So the point is, there's a shared, common understanding, consensus of A, what you think everyone else thinks you should be doing, but then B, you're fed back to the same individuals, and the expectations are pretty clear about the roles, and then you can go away and be more effective. So that's what I did. Now, I'm not saying you should do that as well, but what I am saying is everyone really should get a consensus on what the individual roles are, and that way you're going to have less hassle, and that way you're going to have less discord, and that way you can be effective and get 10 out of 10. See what we want? So that was a bit of a sidestep actually, but I appreciate the question. I hope that helps. Yeah. Any other questions about the roles? Okay, well look, what we're going to do is close now for a break, but please take the opportunity to, there's a list, right, so if you go sign or register, you won't be able to take your points, so you must have your signing there. That list will be at the end of the room, so please do tick that category. Here we go, so Monica, find Monica with green. Tick that.